It's just gone 6 o'clock. It's Friday night. It's become the activity for Friday night.
I know.
Hashtag David Higgs.
Matchy,
cooking
matchy.
for a cause. We didn't plan it. We didn't plan it. We're just that connected.
I like it.
That's a bit weird, isn't it? Last week it was green. This week it's gold.
It's all right. The
Is
green
it-
and the gold.
I'm feeling a little bit more spring in the air. Were you feeling that this week as
This
well?
whole week.
Yeah.
Go out for a ride with a short sleeve shirt on. Eh?
I was thinking more like I'm eating fish, you're drinking white wine, but you know, each to their own.
Absolutely.
It's David Higgs. Hashtag cooking for a cause on a Friday night. You can see he's in the mood. He's got the gears going there with a lovely bottle of mum or mum, depending on how fancy you want to be. And it's the third show. Can you believe it? Time really does fly when you're having fun. It is the third edition, the third show of this competition that was the brainchild of David Higgs and the various voices in his head. Not just to spend even more time with all the food lovers out there and who've come to love him even more during lockdown, but to raise awareness for the Inner City Can Collective, a charity that's very, very close to David's heart. And that is why we're here to bring attention to the great work they're doing, have some fun and make some wonderful food for the people that you love the most at the same time.
Absolutely. So the way it works, everybody, if you haven't watched the show before, this afternoon from our suppliers, La Marina, Bull and Bush, Food Lovers Market, Urban Foods.
Urban Foods.
All their ingredients were delivered. We'll go through those ingredients in a little bit. And they've got 1 hour between 6. They're already cooking. We're going to join them now. Between 6 and 7, they get 1 hour to put a dish together.
And we're going to be going into this is the only cooking show out there right now where you can actually go into the kitchen of ordinary people who are brought together by their collective love for food. And I think it's just about time that we also look back at what happened last week before we find out who our contestants are for this week, giving them a bit of a chance to really decide what to do with their box of magic ingredients. If you're just joining us for the first time tonight, or you've forgotten what you watched in all the excitement last week, let's take a look at what went down last Friday in this kitchen. If you've just joined us for the first time, David Higgs' hashtag cooking for a cause.
I love these oaks.
Hashtag cooking with the heart he does. We're going to take you into the kitchens of ordinary South Africans who love food, that put their hands up and say, hey, I want to cook for a cause, and hey, I want to take on David Higgs. Hi there. Hello, everybody.
So just by the way, I have a better kitchen at home. It's just the lighting here is better.
Oh, okay. I hear you. I hear you.
Your main boy.
Yes.
Yes, you look very organized. We can't hear the music. So we've got salmon, we've got leeks, we've got broccoli, we've got some beautiful caviar here, and then obviously fatties and monies, the bellissimo range, but the main ingredient being salmon, but there's also, you can do lots of little vegetarian twists on this and so forth.
You're gonna be like, wow.
The essence
I
of
know,
Miss J.
I can already taste it, I can already taste it.
And one of the main ingredients tonight is pasta.
Yes, it is indeed.
Dave,
So-
what is the pasta you're cooking
So
tonight?
we're cooking linguine. I've just got it in the pot there, but you know, when you're cooking polenta and
Yes.
pap, and everybody always says, but how long does it cook for? Guys, what you have to understand with these things is read the label. When in doubt, read the label. And if there's oil on it, hey, sitting fast in
So, few tense developments. My mom crapped on me because I wasn't keeping the kitchen clean while I worked.
Oh, crack the whip, mommy.
Hey, a little bit of mishaps, shit happens.
Go, Mum, you can do this.
Oh, but it means
Who's that on the
you haven't
screen?
had.
What are you doing?
I'm on Instagram Live.
Ah, yes. Like,
I mean, all the cool kids are doing it. You do it all the time, so I might as well try. Go ahead, keep talking. The last person we're
pasta
gonna.
is coming out of the pot.
What?
Bellissima.
But did you test it? Is
What?
it gereed? Right. Do not use. I'm asking you.
Check. It's
for,
ready.
Please don't do that. This is supposed to be a professional.
And we're calling this dish a three-way with David Higgs and a piece of salmon.
It's gonna be seafood heavenly. So my dish is Miss J Lockdown D.
Okay, I think my job is done here. I'm going to leave. We've educated the nation. And there we have it. Those were the highlights last week. I needed a reminder. There were a few things I actually missed. What was it? 3 ways what?
A three-way with David Higgs
A
and
three-way
salmon.
and salmon.
I'll pass. Thanks.
I was just about to say, if you're looking for suggestions for the new menu at Marble or Saint, do you think that will go down well or no? Right? No. We'll go back to the drawing board. So those are the highlights. Gosh, they make it sound so exciting. And that hour went so quickly, as you can tell. Last week, that was our second edition of David Higgs' hashtag Cooking for a Cause. Now, David, I don't know about you, but that was a really tightly contested night.
It was an incredibly tight, but both weeks have been very, very close. And every week we're just stepping up, and that's
so
what
the tasting. You had the tasting job and the judging job afterwards.
Yes.
Was it tough?
It was incredibly tough, and especially because of, everybody's is really getting creative. They're putting more and more elements on the dish. So sometimes that works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah.
And then let's find out who was the winner.
Guys, Mr. Frosty has delivered. Over here, Rakni, there we go. Salmon, funnily enough, they're all salmon. Sam, Charmaine, and last but definitely not least, Miss J, Janet Satole. Rocky Shah is the winner. It was very close this week. Well done, Rocky. Beautiful dish, delicate flavors. It just really, really works. Well done.
I know you said it's a tough job, but it also just looks like a lekker job that you had there.
No, it is. It's not bad for Friday night. I can tell you that.
So far, we've got two finalists for our grand finale. We've got Sarah Williams from the first week. We've got Raki Shah from the second week, who did her thing with the salmon and the pasta and that kind of thing. She also has a great life story as well in relationship with food. So those are the two contestants already through. We've got tonight to go, another night, and then we've got 4 contestants going through to the final on the last episode of this edition of hashtag Cooking for a Cause. Now, I think it's time for us to first find out about your ingredients, and then we'll find out who our contestants are and what they've decided to do with your ingredients.
So, guys, what we put in the box today.
The Hadi-Das.
It's a symphony of Hadi-Das.
No, you're doing something. There's some.
Anyway, they're coming home to roost, babies. Come in.
Don't say that.
Roost. Do Hadi-Das roost? Anyway, they don't.
Maybe we'll do some chicken next week.
Yes.
How about that?
Anyhow, so basically what we got from the main ingredient that we got from La Marina was a bit of barramundi. I thought it was sea bass, but it's actually barramundi. There's been a problem with the Mauritian flights and getting stuff over. Obviously, there's many technicalities at the moment. Enough already, guys. Welcome to Josie.
No, you've been in lockdown for far too long. You've got a relationship with these Hadi-Das now. I'm convinced. Okay.
They're very special. Okay, so we've got with the barramundi, which is a whitefish, a beautiful whitefish, and a nice firm texture. We've got cauliflower. We've got fennel bulb, one of my favorite ingredients. Risotto rice. We were given some risotto rice. Lots of fresh herbs: basil, sage, fennel bulb. Fennel tops, onion, and a little bit of garlic. And then fresh peas. We got some fresh peas as well. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, okay, so just to talk you through this very quickly, I have in my pot over here, I have made a risotto, and I'm going to make like a pea and basil pesto that I'm going to blend into that risotto. I'm going to fry my fish. I'm going to serve a little bit with risotto. I'm going to make a little bit of salsa with that. And the other one, I'm going to do little, the Italian croquettes, where you roll them into little balls. What's that called? I've just forgotten. Anyhow.
Arancini.
Arancinis.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
My job here is done. I told David Higgs something about cooking. Thank you.
Anyway, so we're going to do a couple of arancinis, but I'm also going to poach the fish in the oven. So I've got a couple of things on the go here. But yeah, those are the ingredients. A little bit challenging this week. Not easy to put together, but so you've got to think a little bit out the box to keep it interesting. So there we are.
I mean, you can look at all those things and say, you know what, I'm just going to cook them all to within an inch of their life, be nice and mushy, roll them into something and fry it. But that would be boring.
No, that would be boring.
Subtle flavors. And again, like we said, spring is in the air. These are all lovely green spring peas. And I'm so here for it. So now that's what David Higgs has decided to do with his lovely box of goodies. Let's find out firstly, who our contestants are, and perhaps get an idea of what they've decided to do with the ingredients. And as we've seen over the last first 2 episodes of the show, a lot of our contestants start with a certain idea in their head, but they don't really end with that idea. And that's all part and parcel of the show. David has started the show by saying, this is what I'm cooking. And by the end of him seeing what the contestants are doing, he's come with all kinds of other fancy things to put on the plate at the end. So you also need to be agile in the kitchen, right, David? You
Absolutely.
Agile.
Adapt or die, they say.
Yeah, and not too much salt by the looks of it. Let us now go from David Higgs's kitchen to the kitchens of our food lovers out there who have made it through to be the four contestants of the 3rd episode of David Higgs's #Cooking for a Cause. Our first contestant up is none other than Eastern Cape's finest, Noni Godole, who is 35 years old, and as with all of our contestants, very active on social media. She has a Facebook page called Noni's Home Dish, and we're going to find out what kind of home slice she is. And she's cooking, from what I understand, from a kitchen in Bertram's, where she also gives cooking classes. So let's slip into Noni's kitchen. Noni, hello, can you hear me? How are things? How's the heat in the kitchen there by you? How are you feeling?
Noni!
I've been nervous for the past, I don't know how many days, but I'm good. I'm not in Bertram's anymore. I'm in Birdhaven, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had to rush.
Oh, okay, so you had to change very quickly.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm in Birdhaven, but I am representing Eastern Cape. Hey, my people.
there we go. And I mean, growing up in the Eastern Cape, you also grow up with all kinds of culinary influences, all kinds of great ingredients as well. Is that big? Has that been a big influence on how you cook and the kinds of flavors you like to cook with?
This big, like massive, massive, massive. This big. You know, I cook. Someone described my food the other day and said, you know, your food is not like, you know, that food that's on like TV, but it reminds me of my grandmother's good cooking, you know.
And isn't that the best compliment?
Sorry?
That's just the best compliment, isn't it?
Oh, it was the best because she taught me everything I know.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't know. I don't think she's seen broccoli before. I do know that I know. She's never seen broccoli, and she passed away without seeing broccoli.
Aww.
Not broccoli, cauliflower.
Cauliflower. The other one.
Noni, that's not a great start. Okay, let's just put this out there. Noni, can we just focus, please?
You shouldn't have said that. You should have said the thing.
The champagne. Now she's too afraid to say champagne or bubble, so you shouldn't have sent that other thing. That's what she said. Okay, Noni, before all the wheels come off, tell us very quickly, you've had a look at the ingredients. What are you thinking of putting on that plate for David to judge a little bit later on?
I was excited when I saw the ingredients because, okay, I'm not copying you, David. I also love fennel. Okay?
I like it.
And so what I decided, there was a lot of green, and I love green. So one of my dishes today, I'm just going to give it a name like that. I'm going to green all over. I'm like, all right, yes. So I've got my risotto, which is green right now.
Oh.
And I hope you're going to enjoy that. I'm actually cooking a risotto in spinach juice.
Oh.
And I'm going to add my peas in there, as well as my basil and some beautiful seasoning. And my cauliflower, not broccoli, my cauliflower.
Slowly.
Is actually almost ready.
Wow.
All I did was just saute it with a bit of spice in here, some masala, some salt and pepper, and some garlic, ginger.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make the fish in my beautiful special sauce. Everybody that knows Noni knows that sauce.
Oh,
I'm
Noni's
using,
special sauce.
Ooh.
I'm using the fennel bulb for my sauce, and I'm going to use coriander, as well as mint and some chili and some garlic and some lemon and some coconut cream, right? And a little bit of that magic, not a little bit, a lot of the magic. And for my fish, my bara, what's the name of the fish again?
Barramundi.
I was going to call it barramundi, but hey.
No, same. It's fine. It's fine.
So I'm going to fancy my barramundi, and it's going to go with that.
Okay,
Nice.
fantastic. Oh,
Now, the interesting thing is, Noni, the first thing that you noticed is that everything was green. And when I packed all my ingredients out, they were also, and that's the first thing that I said to Marcel. I said, look how nice and green everything is. Hey? So we're on the same level here. Now, don't mess it up,
There's going
please.
to be a lot of green in your plate. And a little bit of yellow.
and a lot of magic by the sounds of it. That's Noni, our first
Of course,
contestant
of course,
who's
of
cooking
course.
here in Johannesburg. She runs a soup kitchen. She runs cooking classes in Bertram. Somebody who's really taken a love for food and used it for good as well. And that's what we're all about here at the David Higgs hashtag, cooking for a cause as well. David's going at it very nicely with his, what Noni called broccoli, but it's a cauliflower. But, you know, same family, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And again, that reminds me, David, you know, when you were growing up on a Sunday, I can't remember eating cauliflower on its own or broccoli on its own. It's altijd saam.
Yeah.
With a lekker cheesy sauce,
100%.
with a roast chicken.
Generally
and then-
overcooked.
Yeah, but now who's complaining?
No, it has to be overcooked. Now, there's one thing about home cooking, you know, it's like, mom would phone you to come home for a Sunday lunch
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
and you would never say no because it was the lekker
course
thing.
not.
But everything was overcooked.
Absolutely. And then like things like I had an auntie who added sugar to everything. So what is Sunday carrots without like that sweetness
No,
that only
absolutely.
later on you found out, no, actually carrots don't actually taste like that. She just added a whole lot of sugar. But it's part of those wonderful childhood memories, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, enough about that. We'll continue to be nostalgic about food, and it's turned us into the food lovers that we are. Did you hear that? Food lovers that we are. Hint, hint. Food lovers eatery. We see you. Okay.
Too clever.
Our second contestant, Yolandi North. She's lots of people in their 30s and one youngster that we're going to speak to a little bit later on. I'm here for the ladies in their late 30s. Yolandi North is 38 years old, also here in Johannesburg. She too has a blog. She's a lifestyle blogger. She's a writer. She's a mom. She's a husband. Loves entertaining. She's got a Facebook page there. I mean, she'll tell us how to pronounce it. Azay Style Life by Yolandi. Azay Style Life. These people are far too stylish for my for my good. I don't know about you, David. So Yolandi is cooking up a storm as well. There she is. She's got a wonderful little blonde-haired sous chef with her.
Hey, buddy.
Yolandi, hello. How's the heat in the kitchen? Are we feeling confident?
We are feeling confident, definitely.
Good.
So this is Oliver.
Hello, Oliver. Is Oliver going to be doing slicing and dicing, or is he just on the fridge duty? Bring mommy this, bring mommy that, put that in the sink, clean that up.
Oliver's having his ice cream.
Ah,
Dinner ice cream.
that sounds like a good job. I want Oliver's job.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Yolandi, welcome. You are our second contestant we're meeting tonight. You're a lifestyle blogger. You love to cook, like so many of our other contestants. You're a self-taught home cook. Now, what is a self-taught home cook going to be cooking up tonight with the box of ingredients you've been given?
Well, I must tell you, I grew up in an Afrikaans home. So it was all vleis and rice and aardappels and all of those salads that David spoke about with confit bakkie. It's everything with mayo and butter and sugar.
Condensed milk. Eh? Mayonnaise and condensed milk. I mean, come on already.
And no fish. Fish was bitter. So after last week, I thought, okay, we're not going to get fish today. And I must admit, I have never heard of this fish before today.
Hy's baie
So
lekker
I was
hoor.
very
My
impressed.
vis is baie lekker. Moenie worry nie.
So ja, vir 'n Afrikaanse mens is hierdie 'n stretch, maar doing it.
I'm sure you'll be fine. In your little write-up about who you are and what you're about, you did say vleis, rice and aardappels, but you only discovered things like sushi and salmon, or salmon, as some people in South Africa call it, and couscous later on in life. But I mean, that's par for the course for many of us who grew up in South Africa. These fancy things we discovered only once we got out of our parents' homes and started discovering the good life, you know. So, I mean, it might be called barramundi, but I'm sure you've gotten used to cooking with seafood, and I'm sure your family has learned to love it.
Yeah. Well, I'm still. I must say, the fish is still a little bit nervous, but I think the nerves are just what I need.
Just treat the fish like kabeljou. Hy's baie dieselfde soos kabeljou, so moenie worry nie. Don't be scared.
I don't think it makes a difference to us. You're talking French. Okay, Yolandi, what have you decided to do with the fish whose name we shall not mention?
Okay, the fish whose name we shall not mention. I'm going to, I'm doing it in the oven. So I've created a little bit of a paste with basil and some pantry staples. And then I'm doing some panko crumbs on top with some herbs. And then on the side, I've got a green puree that I'm making. And then a simple salad of fennel and rocket with a dressing.
Very, very nice. But dit klink fancy. Dit klink nie soos vleesrys and aardappels at all. I mean, there's pesto, there's a crust with panko on a fish. I mean, Yolandi North has come a long way as far as I'm concerned. So you've got nothing at all to worry about. You also seem to have speeded ahead with your cooking stuff. You're going to be done quite soon. You're not going to need a countdown, are you? Are you feeling good?
I was so stressed about the fish that I did quite a lot of the prep of the ingredients because I was so worried that I wasn't going to finish.
Okay, well, it sounds like that's a good kind of energy you've brought to it, and you're really steaming ahead. So we're going to leave you so we don't add to your stress. Yolandi North is our contestant number 2 for this week's edition. And again, just another contestant who grew up with a love for food, and it's made it a really big part of their life. And interesting there, David, we were talking about how not everybody's been exposed to seafood and fish from a young age. It was a big part of your growing up in Namibia and then moving, for me, growing up in the Western Cape near the sea as well. Yep. I mean, I find that when I go and shop for fish in various places in Johannesburg, we do get great fresh seafood in Johannesburg.
We do.
Like when I send my mother photos of fish that we've fried or done a seafood, she's like, waar kry julle vis? You know?
But the thing is, we sometimes get better fish than
we
most.
Absolutely do.
Because we pay premium, you know what I mean?
Well, there is that. But often, when I'm standing at the counter and I order fish and I give them strict instructions of what I want, leave the head on, this is what I want, and then normally there'll be an auntie.
Hey? The birds. Hey, spring, Oak. Spring's almost
but
here.
now you're prejudiced towards other birds because when the hadidas are speaking, then you have a problem, and now when the pretty birds are speaking, it's like, oh, look how lovely spring is in
Those
the
things
air.
are prehistoric, okay? They shouldn't even be here.
So anyway, as I was saying, when you're in the fish shop, invariably, like an auntie will come up behind me and say, what do you do with, you see? What do you do with the head? Why are you not cutting the head off? And I'm like, honey, the meat in those cheeks.
You know,
and when you suck it out at the end, it is the most flavoursome thing you will ever. But people are like for it.
one of the best stories I heard this week, very quickly. One of the best stories I heard this week was one of the.
Go ahead.
No, I can't talk if someone's talking about you. Guys, me.
I'm just fixing my microphone. Just go.
Anyway, so one of the people that follow me on Instagram are in one of the supermarkets, and they're trying to buy the ingredients for one of the dishes that I've cooked. And she's watching the video. And while she's watching the video, 2 or 3 other people start watching the video with her, complete strangers. So they're all watching my video in the shop. And they're like, we need that as well.
We need this. I think it was fennel. Wasn't it fennel, I think, as well. Again, one of these ingredients we only discovered later on in life. Gosh, we could go on for hours. Unfortunately, we only have a few. We've got like just over half an hour to go. Okay, let's go to contestant number 3. Ons praat te veel vanaand.
We are.
Alfred Jonker. Our Elfriede Jonker.
I was going to say, there's no man on
Ek
the
het
show.
verkeerd geskryf. Elfriede Jonker is our 3rd contestant. Also, with a wonderful foodie Facebook page, Cooking with Elfie is what it's called. She's got an Instagram page called Cooking with Elfie as well. And food is a big part of her life, even though she's a full-time attorney and she's got 3 kids. We've got such overachievers taking part in this competition. I mean, stop showing off.
Completely.
Stop showing off. Look how glamorous. She's got an updo with her hair. She's got a little leopard print, animal print thing going on there.
She's working at speed, let me just tell you.
And look at how immaculate the kitchen.
Starter.
God, you don't want to know what my kitchen looked like when I left there this afternoon. I mean, Elfriede Jonker, can you just stop overachieving? Why don't you? You've got a food page that you love to do. How do you get all of this done while being a full-time attorney and having 3 kids? Tell us your secret.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I think the food was born from being a mom of 3 and a full-time attorney. planning, loving to cook, being that said it's my safe space. So I wanted to keep on cooking, but I mean, time is so limited.
Yeah.
So that's where cooking with Alfie came from, is planning ahead and planning your menus and your shopping lists and your recipes.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sure your followers love it because you've just described what an average life is for many people. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have time to go and look for the
Having
fanciest ingredients.
Yeah.
we are fed and bathed, and still you want to keep everybody a nutritious, healthy, nice looking, good tasting dinner.
And tell us, I mean, we just heard from Yolandi North that said she grew up with vlees, rice and aardappels, so she was a little bit scared of the fish because it's not something she's really familiar with. What food influences did you grow up with, and how did that influence your relationship with food?
Afrikaans and Bani have got exactly the same background. I also grew up with vlees, rice and vegetables on days, but fish, I learned to cook later in life. It's definitely something that's on our menu at least once a week, so we cook fish often.
Oh, fantastic. So now I really want to know what you've decided to do with that barramundi today.
Okay, I've steamed the fish in a little bit of white wine, and I'm going to make a cake that's crumbed with the fish or with the crumbs, and we're going to serve that on a fennel cream and with some pea and basil pepper.
Yes.
Oh, you know when David makes that face, he normally then goes away and tries to make his dish a little bit fancier. So I'm already seeing that coming. So Elfrida, I'm going to leave you to it. We'll touch base with you in a few minutes. And it looks like your sous chefs are getting involved there as well. They don't need to hide. Elfrida Jonker in her kitchen telling us a bit more about her food philosophy, I believe is the phrase
Yes.
that we use these days. She's our third contestant tonight, and just wonderful to hear people talk about what their influences were growing up, but how they've expanded that as they've evolved as adults as well, and living in different parts of the country as well. So very quickly, without any further ado, let's go to our fourth contestant. She's the only 20-something in amongst our other contestants
Spring
tonight.
chicken.
Dashania
Look at that smile.
Murgas. There we go.
Dash.
I mean, she is 25 years old, but she already has her own little food business going called Food by Dash. I mean, it's just so cool and millennial-like, isn't it? You know, you've got to love it. And she is our fourth and final contestant tonight. I'm really keen to see what she has decided to do with our dishes. Hi there, Dash.
Hey, Dash.
Are you dashing through the kitchen? How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good, but you got me at the moment when I'm cooking my fish.
Oh, okay. Let's not forget about it because you don't want that. It's
all
okay.
good. We have to be open and transparent here. Dash used to work with me in the kitchen.
Wait.
Yeah, at Marvel. Many years ago.
Wow.
How are you, Dash?
I'm good, thanks. And you, Chef? Nice
I'm
to
so
see
good.
She still
Nice
calls
to
you
see you.
chef.
Yeah.
I'm
I know.
good, chef. How are you, chef? It's
Stop
just
it.
David now, Dash. You've got your own little business going. You know, you don't. Although, I mean, I don't think you ever will stop calling him chef. It gets drilled into you. I'll speak to you later about what dirty secrets you can tell us about chef here behind us. Now you're 25 years old. You've got your own little catering business going. You've got your own food blog. You're doing all kinds of amazing things for Food by Dash. At 25 years old, you've already worked with some of the best in the business. And maybe David as well. She's worked at Jardine as well.
I know,
She's
I know.
worked at a restaurant Mosaic in Pretoria. I mean, can we just stop with the overachieving again? What made you decide to go it alone at this stage in your life, Dash?
Well, I mean, now I'm in control of my own time. Every day is different. You know, I never do the same thing every day, and I love that. Like, that's what I live for. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You know, I loved working in restaurants, but I felt like I couldn't be as creative as I wanted to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And growing up, obviously we all have our different food influences growing up. You then decided to make it your life's work as well. Were you able to bring those influences together, what you grew up with and what you then were exposed to in these various fancy kitchens you worked in?
Yes, yeah, like I've combined both of those flavors. So on my menu tonight, I've even got some curry and turmeric, and I've done some toasted fennel seed. So those are all flavors I grew up with. But doing a risotto, which I used to make when I was at restaurant Jardine. So it's a whole fusion of things from everywhere, from all my experiences. I picked flowers from my garden, and that reminds me of restaurant Mosaic. So yeah, I've kind of put it together on a plate for tonight.
Okay, you've already given us idea of what you're doing. I'm going to leave it to that.
Dash, see these? Hey, look at these.
No, but she said it reminded her of her time at Mosaic. Not
I don't care.
It didn't remind her of you.
This is my kitchen.
Can you just... Every time somebody mentions flowers, it's because of his influence.
Look at those nasturtiums.
Oh, God. Oh, listen to him showing off with these fancy scientific words that probably aren't even real. Dash, I'm going to leave you to it. We're going to touch base with you a little later. You look... Oh, look at that. Oh, careful. She just lost half of her cauliflower sauce.
Dash, concentrate.
Dash, it's fine.
Beautiful.
Chef, tell her what to do, chef.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Dash, who we heard, spent some time in David's kitchen and lived to tell the tale, poor girl. Thank goodness for that. We're going to touch base with her a little bit later on. Let's quickly find out how David's dish is going, because everybody else seems to be steaming ahead. How are you doing here?
Exactly. So, we got this camera on here. So what I've got, just very quickly, in the pan, I've got some roasted cauliflower. I've got my roasted fish, so I roasted those two together. Now what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to finish that off with a bit of risotto that I've made my pea and basil pesto with. Okay, so it's the risotto that we're going to mix this pesto in, so it'll be bright green pesto or pea pesto that goes in with the risotto, and that will serve with our cauliflower and our roasted fish. So that's the one dish. The other dish is in the oven. I'm just going to bring it out for you quickly. So I'm actually poaching my fish in a little bit of the mum champagne with fennel and a bit of the onion and so forth, and a bit of garlic. So that's the other dish. That's actually ready. I'm going to take that out. And with that,
the whiteness on that fish looks perfect already.
No, it's lovely. And then with that, what we're going to do is I've made a couple of little croquettes which are ready. Goeister. Okay.
Would you need something? What are you going to put it in?
I'm going to put it here.
Drama. Yeah, it's fine.
On there, hey? So little.
My mother won't be impressed with what you're doing right now, but
what
it's
do you
fine.
mean it's on the cloth? Sorry, Mom.
Paper towel.
Sorry, it is paper towel. It's Lani paper towel. Anyway, so there's my little croquettes. So that'll add the crunch then to the soft poached fish with a nice crumb croquettes. And then what I'm doing with that is I'm adding a little salsa of fennel, cauliflower, lemon, and the top. So lots of olive oil and lots of lemon juice. So those are the two dishes. So
you're telling me we're not just going to dip that in mayonnaise, right?
No, we're not going to dip it in mayonnaise. Okay.
I mean, let's not lie. Tomorrow morning, that will sound like a treat. Okay, David's on top of things, but just a reminder again, we are here giving you a great show on a Friday night, because, I mean, anything can really happen. I mean, you ended up with pasta on the roof, on the ceiling last week. I mean, really, you can't even pay for this kind of excitement. But what you can do is donate to the Inner City Can Collective, the charity that we're doing all of this for. This is how you can help. WhatsApp your pledge amount, name to 0764131192, and they will respond. There's also a QR code. You can put your phone up against that QR code right now. You can also get EFT details. Find them on social media. These guys are doing amazing work in the inner city here in Johannesburg, an area that needs all the help they can get. And it's not just, it's the inner city, like it's a place that gets cordoned off. There are families that are being raised there. There are young people who've got dreams and aspirations there. We've got women that are being powered by the different programs that the Can Collective is putting in front of them to upskill them so they can go up and get decent jobs, not just any job, decent jobs, so that they can bring back that dignity and give their kids the kind of life that will allow them to thrive later on as they grow. So you can do any of those things, and you can make a donation of some kind, and that will help as well. As part of that as well, you can go to Quicket.
Yep, absolutely. So we've added a little twist here. So as you know, from the first episode, you can buy all 5 recipes for 50 Rand. You go into Quicket, the link is here. Go into Quicket and you'll check on my Instagram page as well. And you pay 50 Rand and you get 5 recipes of that week. So every week, 50 Rand, you get your recipes. There is a twist though, a positive twist, a nice twist. If you donate the 50 Rand, okay, if you donate the 50 Rand for your recipes, your name goes into a draw. At the end of the show, at the end of 5 weeks, we will choose one of you that have donated the 50 Rand and bought those recipes, and I will cook for you. I will then deliver the food to you at your door. I will have a glass of wine with you and leave you in peace.
But wait.
But wait, there's
more.
A very dear friend. She's become even more of a friend during lockdown, and her and it's not her husband, no.
Her partner.
Her partner. Yes, like almost.
He just hangs around a bit.
He just hangs around.
Yeah.
Her and her husband Donovan have been doing some incredible stuff on Instagram. So it's Davina and Donovan, Davina May Gordon, your sister.
Just happens to be my sister. I mean, I said I'd come along with a xylophone and create some music, but then we said, okay, let's get the professionals to do it. So Davina has agreed to come along with David. David will have a glass of wine and a bit of chit-chat with you about food or his hair or his styling, and Davina will come along and serenade you and play a few lovely songs. Now, I mean, if that doesn't sound like an amazing prize, after the year that we've had, while we're still living in lockdown level 2, I mean, you cannot put a price to that kind of price. And all you need to do,
exactly.
50 rand, mense, 50 rand, go to Quicket. It allows you to purchase all of these wonderful recipes, both from David as well as from our contestants. And you go into our grand draw at the end of this entire series, and you stand a chance to win a home-cooked meal from David. He'll deliver it, have a glass of wine with you, and Davina May Gordon, the violent stylings of Davina May Gordon, will serenade you at the beginning of your meal.
I won't sing. Okay, let's just put that in there.
Although, no.
No,
we don't want that. We've heard him sing to some of the Jewels Fantasties this week.
Hello.
I don't think it will go down well. So there's a lot of numbers to take into consideration, as long as we all know that we're doing it to help the work being done by the Inner City Can Collective. But we can't be doing that on our own. We've got some wonderful partners here today, as we have from the beginning of the series, one of them being Arga Stoves. Let's take a look. Well, there we have it. Arga Stoves, one of our wonderful partners here on the David Higgs hashtag Cooking for the Cause. David, dictate.
Check it out. Just 22 minutes left. Okay, not much time. We've seen what you guys have been doing, but I think let's go check. Let's go check what these oaks are up to.
Yeah, let's go and check. It's been a while since we spoke to Nonnie, our first contestant up. Nonnie Goldole. Nonnie, how are things going? You had a very good idea of what you were going to do with your cauliflower and your barramundi. And is everything turning out the way you planned? Sure, you are steaming in the kitchen. How's things going?
Hot. I'm hot, like literally, I'm hot.
Hot. Smoking.
On fire.
On fire.
I'm on fire. Everything is turning out nice. Actually, I've just made my fennel bulb and coriander and mint and coconut cream in here.
Oh, lovely.
So my people are thinking I should just give you the fish fingers, and they want to
The
keep
fish fingers.
anything.
How,
Yeah.
can you imagine serving fish fingers to David Higgs? I like the daring.
But I'm almost done. I'm getting there.
And they're just
And
very...
I must say, I have never cooked risotto before, hey? That's my
Hey,
favorite.
there- again, one of those things that we didn't grow up with, but now
Yeah.
everybody's making it. So there's a first time for everything. There's a first time for everything.
Rocking up at home with this kind of rice.
Can you
know?
imagine? just put
Everybody's
some
gonna
water
give
in
me
it.
their cows.
Exactly. Okay, that's Noni. I mean, again, somebody you can find on Facebook. Noni's Home Dish is the name of her page. She does amazing things. A self-taught cook who gives cooking classes in Bertram. She also has a soup kitchen. We've got such amazing South Africans doing amazing things, all with their love for food. Let's move very swiftly along. Yolandi North is our second contestant. Lifestyle blogger, writer, mom. You know, we've got all these overachievers taking part in the show as well. Yolandi was very nervous about cooking the fish because it's something she didn't grow up with, but I'm sure she's made a plan. She seemed very, very in control and organized when we first chatted to her. Yolandi, how are things going?
So my fish is just out of the oven.
There we
so
go.
Now I just need to, I've got my salad together and my puree I think is fine. So now I just need to plate.
Okay, so
Beautiful.
the fish, well, you're also going to do a little crust on the fish.
Yes, so there, I'm going to try and show you. So there it is.
Oh,
the
lovely.
panko crust with some herbs.
Beautiful.
Very, very. And so you see, it wasn't that big a deal. You didn't grow up with fish, but you've done one for a competition with David Higgs. I mean, really.
Big deal.
Big deal. Just a tiny big deal. Okay, Yolandi, all the best there. And Yolandi and Noni and all of our contestants, once they finish, they're supposed to give us a name for their dish, but we'll ask them when we go back to them a little bit later. And once they've prepared their dish, they need to plate up, they need to take a photo, they need to tell us what the name of the dish is, and it's going to be carted away by One Cart, who is our partner when it comes to whizzing our dishes here for the judging process. And One Cart does amazing things. We'll find out a little bit about them a little bit later on. Again, one of those businesses that's really come to the fore during lockdown, making it easier for certain South Africans to be able to continue to keep food on the table and cook the dishes they love without putting themselves in danger. We'll find out about them a little bit later. One of our other partners, though, is Fatties and Monies. You've heard us jabber on about them over the last couple of weeks. Last week, pasta was very much at the heart of the dish and the box of ingredients that David sent to our contestants. The Fatties and Monies premium pasta, bellissima. I'm now saying that in my sleep already. Let's find out more about them.
Fatties and Monies, bellissimo. Fatties and Monies, ottimo cibo. Tagliatelle, farfalle, linguini.
When life inspires you to create, Bellissimo will give you the freedom to. Introducing the new premium quality pasta range from Fatties and Monies.
Bellissimo.
Bravo to you.
We need to work on your curtsy.
Bravo.
Right? I mean, has pasta ever made you like sing and dance and do opera? Okay, not when people are watching.
I don't even need pasta to get me going.
Listen, I went to Italy for the first time last year. The best.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep that conversation for another day. Let's go back to our contestants very quickly. Elfrida Jonker, one of our overachievers again, as I've said, full-time attorney, 3 kids, and she said it's because of that she really got into cooking, and she's found an audience on social media because of that. Cooking with Elfie is her blog, and she's got an Instagram page where other people will also have the same kind of pressures of cooking for their family, loving food at the same time, but that doesn't mean it just has to be fish fingers and things like that all of the time. But you can dress up fish fingers, actually. I'm pretty sure. I don't know when last I've had fish fingers. Elfrida, hoe gaan het daar?
But it's going brilliant. Thanks. It's gone well. Actually, I'm close to fish fingers, mate. It's fish cookies, so it's a gamble.
It's the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Just make them fancy crumbed fish and we call it something else.
Yeah.
And so you, is everything turning out nicely? What have you got there?
Yeah, I'm busy with just cramming the fish cakes, but everything's going brilliant.
Okay.
Nice. Fish cakes in a mold. Yes, these are lovely fish cakes.
Now you see.
Friday night fish cakes. Eh?
Is that something that you've come up with as a trick to do it quickly? Because I've never seen fish cakes being put in a mold.
Yeah, to put them in the freezer so that they cram easier.
Nice.
Listen, you've just taught
on the
us
money.
something new. Look at you. No wonder you can do all of those things in one day. So you're feeling good about the time. Have you thought about a name for your dish, Elfrida?
I just want to ask something, Ma. Is die kleintjies okay?
Are the clankies in this dish, are the clankies the fish cakes?
No, I know, I'm joking. I just wanted to know if my mom's okay with the babies.
Oh, is that what
Classic.
Okay, now we last night the family vote, and our dish's name is take off your mask and taste this.
That's nice. That's a straight instruction. Take off your, because I mean, if you don't take off your mask and try and taste it, it could be a disaster.
Exactly.
So let's go, all part of this new normal that we're living through. Right, that's Elfrida Jonker, who's doing it all with a kick and a step and a smile and ready to go. We've got 15 minutes.
15 minutes left, everybody. 15 minutes. Please take a photograph, pop the lid on, and get it out to the one card, guys, so we can get it here. So please don't be late. That's the only criteria. Have a lot of fun. I can see everybody's working at a frantic pace.
Well, one more contestant we have to speak to, because, I mean, working at a frantic pace is in a name. Dash.
Yeah, Dash.
Dash is our fourth and last contestant, 25 years old, but already a veteran in the kitchen. Dash, how's it going there?
Hi, I'm good. I'm plating.
You don't look very confident. I'm plating. We need excitement.
Oh, she's asked her assistant.
Who's there with you, Dash?
It's Anur. Come around, Nuri.
Yeah, let's meet the powers behind these wonderful cooks. There we go. He looks happy with your with what you've tried today, right? Or am I talking too soon?
All good.
All good. So show us what you've got there on your plate, Dash.
Okay, so I've got a curried cauliflower, and I made a pickling liquid, a quick pickle, and then I've got a green pea risotto, and just put it back on the thing. And then I've got a
instructions.
Come, my friend. Get with the program here. Dash, stop shouting. Stop shouting, Dash. Calm down.
She's so cute.
No. My kitchen now.
It's my kitchen rules, David. Okay, what's happening on your plate, Dash?
The green pea risotto. I've got the barramundi, which has the basil and sage crust. I've got some peas, which I've got in a pickling liquid. I did toasted fennel seeds with that. The curried cauliflower and crispy sage.
Nice.
And it's going to be delicious.
It's going to be delicious.
It's going to be delicious. I like that.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef, we believe you. That's Dash. Food by Dash. You can follow her on all her social media pages. She's 25 years old, and she's already got her own food business going. I like the little bit of spice on the cauliflower, because I know when I roast cauliflower, it doesn't go in the oven without a nice dusting of cumin.
No, absolutely.
And people who haven't tried that don't know what they are missing.
Okay,
Now,
so I'm going to plate my dish quickly, and then we can go back to I think we do. Do we need to talk to any more sponsors? Okay, so
I'll worry about that. You plate.
Okay, so what we've got here is I've got a little pea risotto. So I made that pea and basil pesto. Remember that? Onthou jy daai? Look at
Ja.
Smell that. Oh, some of my bracelets in there.
What? Is it really?
No.
It is really. There's a bead in there.
Just ignore it.
But it's... David, you can't...
It came off now, man. Stop it.
You can't leave a bead. People are... If that happened in one of your restaurants, you'd be like, guys, it's an own personal touch.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what it reminds me of? You know, like Christmas pudding.
Yeah.
Remember that? There was this weird thing when you were growing up where they put 5 Rand coins in the Christmas...
Yes, I remember that.
Why did we do that?
I don't know.
I mean, surely you could have been poisoned. Now you're putting beads in the stuff. Oh, God. Okay.
So what I've got is I've done the risotto 2 ways because I wanted a bit of crisp. You know, we've got the soft risotto. We've got this... Look at this beautiful shine on this fish. Give me mooi skyn uit vis. Hey? Okay, so
like that white of the fish is just perfect.
So beautiful. Okay, so there's a nice bit of crisp to this and everything else. So very, very simple. That's the one. And then the other one that I'm going to do here... Yeah? The what?
En nog 'n bord.
Yeah, nog 'n bord. So the other one is this roasted cauliflower, okay, with a roasted barramundi, okay. And then I've made this little salsa. I mean, just look at this. Just look at this salsa.
The aroma. It's just next level.
No, guys, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Really. Okay. Can you? I should have been a chef.
You really should have.
I really. Oops.
Now you're going to do that thing that they do.
Overconfident.
You must do. I'm still waiting for you to do that thing that they do on cooking shows when they make the food and then they taste it and they go, "Oh, that's amazing!" Like when are you going to do that and say,
Yeah, this is pretty average.
This really didn't work out.
Okay.
Okay, we must check for beads. I've never had to do that in the kitchen before.
No, guys.
Is daar nog een?
No, it was just one.
Where is David Higgs? Where are you hiding him?
No. Anyway, so really cool. I mean, just two very different dishes. One quite rich and heavy. The other one a lot lighter. The roasted cauliflower, the cauliflower salsa. So there we go. There's the two.
Have you given yours a name? You must also give your dish a name.
Yeah.
What are we going to call it?
It's basically
Fishy David.
It's basically beads, beaded barramundi.
Beaded. Okay, not beaten. Beaded barramundi. There's a first for everything.
10 minutes, guys.
We've got 10 minutes to go.
10 minutes left.
They're pouring wine in Elfrieda's kitchen. They are far too at ease. Kyk, 'n groot glas wyn wat sy nou gekry het.
Check Nonnie. Nonnie's plating up.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
Nice, Nonnie.
All of the characters come out from behind the cameras when we're not watching.
Yeah,
you see how that happens? But now also...
Take a photograph of the dish. Who's that on top there?
Everybody must take a photograph of their dish. You need to give us a name for the dish. Think of a creative name for the dish as well. Look at Dash. Dash is dashing away in her kitchen as well. And remember, yes, we're doing this all for a good cause, but the winner of the grand finale will also stand a chance to win a grand prize, David.
Absolutely. No one knows. We've only just found out what the grand prize is.
So now, are you going to tell them?
No, you're going to tell them.
Am I? Okay, there we go. Arga Stoves, the wonderful folks at Arga Stoves who've been one of our partners right from the start of this journey. 10,000 Rand worth of Arga Stove products. There you have just a sample of what you will get if you are able to go through to the final and win the grand prize. Hashtag home to great cooking. Hashtag adding heart and soul. Heart is the name of another pot, but we won't go there.
No.
That's something completely different.
Beautiful.
So that's a great prize. How many more minutes left? We've got just over 8 minutes left. Everybody seemed very calm when we crossed to them earlier, and now all of a sudden...
Everybody seems calm. Nonnie is flying that chick.
Look at her. And she just comes to life every time. It's funny how everybody is like very calm, doing their thing, and as soon as you speak to them, like, oh, must I talk about it now? Well, speaking about talking about it, we've got some wonderful partners, as we've heard throughout the show here today. One of the last ones we'll hear about today is Food Lovers Eatery, who really have upped their game in the stakes of what they offer to South Africans who go into these wonderful new stores and shop fronts that they've opened. Let's find out more about Food Lovers Eatery. As I'm adjusting my pants and trying to take instructions, it's all happening here. You know what we didn't do? We didn't find out what's on your feet today.
Hey, wait now.
You've gone old school?
I've gone, check.
I just thought, old school, ne?
Yeah, these are, I get these moves from our friend Jay.
Oh my God, he's
Jay something?
Okay,
I get these moves from Jay. Like whenever Jay used to come to set, it always used to be a new pair of tackies. You know what I mean? It's like a new, what do you call them? Loafer? No, what's the?
Kicks.
Kicks,
exactly. David. First I had to say arancini, now I'm telling you kicks.
I'm 50 years old. I don't know what kicks are.
That means nothing. So those are old school. You can't go wrong with those. My Getty, hoe lang gaan hulle wit wees?
No, this is the problem. I'm not great with keeping things white at all. So,
okay, well, that can go in all kinds of directions, but we won't go there. Let's do a quick touch base with our contestants very quickly. We've got just over 6 minutes to go. Let's
see the final dishes.
Nonnie, you look at her. I like it, Nonnie, and she's like, yes, what? We've put your cloche on. We want you to take it off so we can see it. And what's the name of your dish? Hold it up to the screen. Let's bring it. There we go. You've got a good director of photography. There we go. And what are you, Nonnie? Can we hear from Nonnie so that she can tell us what she's calling a dish?
Nonnie.
It's yellow and green.
Okay.
Orange and green. So it's sunshine in the grass.
Sunshine in the grass. That's so
Beautiful.
lovely.
Yeah, the green and the orange. Yes. Oh, yellow. Is
That
this
looks
one
like a
yellow
proper.
orange, guys?
That looks like a
Yellow
proper plate of
orange.
food. No wonder the folks who are with you don't want that plate to leave the property, but it will
Exactly.
with the folks from one cart. Let's go very quickly and touch base with Yolandi. Yolandi was very nervous with the fish. Yolandi, how are things going there? Have you plated up? Is the cloche on? What are you calling your dish?
Crusty barramundi with a green puree and a side of fennel salad. This is what it looks like. Can you see?
Oh yes, she's got it in the box already.
in the box already.
You're far
Yes.
too organized. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Look at that.
Yeah.
I thought he was just balancing on his head for a second.
That's it, my boy.
Good job, buddy.
Oliver's using his head. Just don't drop it. Exactly. Yolandi, thank you so much. She's
Well
really
done,
on top
Yolandi.
of things. Very quickly, Alfreda Jonker, hoe gaan het daar? How are things going there in your kitchen? Oh,
Right.
Alfreda was far too organized earlier, and maybe she's also decided she's done. Oh no, it's all happening.
There she is.
Last minute touch-ups. Alfreda, what are you busy with? Blommetjies.
Just busy with the plating quickly, but we're about 3 minutes away from being finished.
Lovely. Well, we've got 4
Okay,
minutes, so you've got a
fantastic.
minute to spare to have a glass of wine. Well, a swig
And
of wine. not
off
a
we
glass.
go. I've been very impressed with the organized chaos in Alfreda's kitchen. Now, one last touch with Dash. Dash, we know that you are on top of things. You've got some beautiful flavors going there. It could be restaurant quality, but we won't say which restaurants. Dash, how are things going there in the last few seconds we've got?
It's good. I'm ready. We
Are you-
understand it, so it's hot.
How pretty it is.
Goodness.
Did
What
you
is
give
that
us a
called?
name for a dish?
What's the name of the dish?
My name is Green Rice and Fish.
Green.
That sounds like, is it like
Is that,
Dr. Seuss?
is that
It's
the
like-
best you can do, Dash?
But that's like influenced by Dr. Seuss. Green eggs and ham.
Oh.
Green rice and fish, right? You must think about these millennials.
Oh my
There
goodness,
we
I'm
go.
lost.
Exactly.
Just, I'm
We've
so
got
out
it
of it.
all happening there. Okay, Food by Dash is where you can find her on Instagram. But what they need to find is the drivers from one cart who have taken the responsibility of ensuring that those very important boxes find their way here to David's home, where he will be judging the food. And of course, on Monday night, live, he will be unveiling, speaking to all the contestants, and then unveiling who are the winners. Let's find out more about the guys at one cart. Well, there you have it. Spend time doing the things that you love. And David, you've really done that over lockdown, haven't you? As you count down to your beautiful restaurants opening up again under this new normal, the last few months, yes, it's been a dark time for our country and for many people as well. But it's also allowed those who are able to just rediscover loves for things that perhaps has fallen by the wayside in the busy lives that we normally live.
Absolutely. I mean, just look at the format that we have tonight. We've got 4 incredible people on their cell phones, and we're broadcasting across the country.
And taking them right
obviously
into
we've
their
got an
kitchen.
incredible team behind the scenes here, but you know, the fact that we can do that and we can entertain people, that has been the big thing for me. It's about entertaining people, keeping people happy, keeping people smiling, and getting people back in the kitchen. And, yeah.
Indeed, and again, a reminder that in amongst the times that we live in, where so much of the focus is often on that which is different between us, our love as South Africans for food and feeding the people that we love with food that we've poured our hearts and minds into. That really is something that we all genuinely have in common. And we've seen that week in and week out on the show as well. The one golden thread has been a love for food, with people from different backgrounds and taking those influences and pouring it all out on a plate and giving it to this guy to judge them after a few glasses of wine. Speaking of which, that's what you're doing right now with one of our wonderful partners at Mum.
Yes, exactly. So the guys at Mum obviously have always looked after us, kept us hydrated. It's very important to stay hydrated. So thanks so much.
And it's getting into that season now, isn't it? You know, the weather changing in Gauteng. I don't know what the rest of the country is looking like, but it's feeling like Kuier weather here in Gauteng. But let's not talk too soon, because August is a long month.
Okay, guys, so we got 1 minute left. Just remember, we will announce on Monday at 8 o'clock on my Insta Live, we will announce the winner of tonight's show. And then they will go into the finals in a couple of weeks' time with
Sarah Williams and Rakesh Shah.
And Rakesh Shah. So yeah, that's all coming up. So it's really
and they've got exciting. A wonderful prize, a grand prize provided by our partners at Arga Stoves, 10,000 rands worth of goods from them. For our contestants who are listening right now, you've got 30 seconds left if you want to be in line to win that prize after our grand finale. And then just also another reminder.
On the bottom of your screen, what do you have to do to that? What do you have to do for that?
That's a prize that you will give away on Monday if you tune in to that's right? I'm right.
The Mediterranean Deli.
The Mediterranean Deli has given us a wonderful 1,000 rand prize to spend every week. But David will tell you more about that if you tune in to his conversation with the contestants. And that's on Monday and time.
Tools down, lads. Tools down.
The cloches on the dishes. There we go. Take a photo. They've already done it. They're in the boxes already. Look at them.
Beautiful. Nice. Dash outside. Dash outside.
Dash outside. Mom's got the sellotape. Yeah.
It's not sellotape. That's masking tape.
Proper. No,
Mom's
very
got the
organized.
Masking tape. Oh. Hey, Dad's involved.
Look at them. Listen, that's just great to see the whole family involved. Listen, Nonnie's just disappeared from the screen.
Hopefully Nonnie's outside.
She's gone to find the person from one card. There's Alfreda.
Alfreda, get it into the car. Chef. Don't shake that box like that.
Alfreda, your husband, at least has put down his glass of wine to help you. Yep. Like, oh, okay, if I must, let me put down the glass of wine. Dash is ready to go. Yolandi is already busy on social media. These guys have been very organized. They've been impressed, right?
I'm just worried about Nonnie. Nonnie, are you there?
No, she's gone. She's gone to hunt down the one card. The masks have gone on. Excellent. We're all about social distancing, wearing masks, and taking the responsibility to protect ourselves and our loved ones. And again, don't forget, we've got another little prize that we've announced. If you go onto Quicket and you purchase the recipes from our contestants, from David, because, I mean, this looks pretty decent, other than the bead that was in here, but we did fish it out. But this recipe in itself is something that I will try at home with the arancini balls. I'll remind David for the rest of my life that I told him what that was because he couldn't remember. If you go onto Quicket and you purchase those recipes, you will go into a draw right at the end of the grand finale. And that prize will involve one David Higgs cooking a home-cooked meal for you. He'll deliver it to your home. He'll have a glass of wine and a fat chat with you. But be warned that could go on for a while. But along with that, he will be accompanied by my sister, Davina May Gordon, who is a whiz on the violin, and she will serenade you with a couple of lovely songs on the violin as well. Doesn't it sound like a great night?
No, it's a fantastic night.
Doesn't that make you just want to go onto Quicket immediately and spend that $50 for those recipes and stand in line to win that prize? So there's all of it going on here. We've come to the end of the 3rd episode of # Cooking for a Cause with David Higgs and our wonderful contestants this week. Thank you so much for joining us on the various platforms. And for people who missed it, you can go back and watch the episode when you've got the time, because we know we're all leading busy lives at the time. And make sure you let us know who you think is going to win this week's competition, because it's going to be tight.
It is definitely going to be tight, and well done to all the contestants. The food looks amazing. I'll be tasting shortly, thanks to one card. So,
it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Bye.
Ciao.